Paranormal Cleanup is actually going to have its full release in May. At the moment, I am opted into their beta, which you are able to get with the code that they put in one of their recent posts on Steam. And I'm just going to show how to do some of the basic stuff and kind of how it's changed. This game was actually a very popular game whenever we first got it with my group. We've kind of just burnt through it too much. We played it a lot around Christmas and January. However, there's new content. We're starting to get back into it again. So the first thing that changes, we actually have a lobby. Personally, I was okay with the original layout. I don't think every game needs to be Phasmophobia, but this is a nice improvement. So you can change your character at the lockers. I usually play as Johnny because either Dragon Master or Scott will play as Bruce. Maddie usually plays as Anna, and Morgan usually plays as Yolanda. So that way we all have different character models depending on our group arrangement for the night. This is where you will collect your missions. If you've played the game before the update, check this because you can get a lot of levels and money. When I logged in, I got reset back to 0, and then it claimed all those, and then got up to level 38. The phone here is where you're going to invite friends. And then this is where you pick your jobs. Ordinarily, you would just start with Granny's house, and then once you beat Granny's house, you'll unlock Whispering Studio and Ritual Row. Here's one of the changes. Firstly, these were the only 3 maps originally, and it was the same ghost. However, each map has their own unique ghosts now. And I can kind of get into each of those rules as I do. I may do an entirely different episode for each one, because these can take a while to do the 100%. And I may need the group for these two. So the other change that's been added is that there's 2 types of maps. You'll see Cult Carnage and Haunting Hazards. In Haunting Hazards, the ghost has hunt phases like Phasmophobia and Demonologist, where you can hide, wait it out, and then come out. Granted, while you're hiding, you can't be cleaning up the ectoplasm, because that only shows up while the ghost is hunting. Cult Carnage is the ghost always hunts. Just know that these are going to be much harder, and you may want to equip a certain perk that I will get into in just a moment. Alright, I'm going to start with equipment upgrades because this is pretty basic. This will increase your speed as to how quickly things will get cleaned, make your flashlight stronger. You're going to use the plunger, the dustpan, and the sponge on every map. The paint roller you only use in the cult ones, and the crowbar will increase the damage that your crowbar does. Now the thing about the skill tree is you only get to pick 3 of these, and you do need to unlock, upgrade certain ones like Swift Savior. If you max it all the way, you can use medkits twice as fast. If you max out Endurance Enhancer, your stamina will increase by 100%, so you'll double your stamina. On this side, there's some really good specialty ones. So if you're trying to be the medic of your team, you can go Field Medic, Swift Savior, and probably Eagle Eye to try to find them easier. If you want to be the one to open all the doors and break all the boards, get Break and Enter, and then you can start with a crowbar instead of having to go looking for one. If you want to focus exclusively on cleaning up trash, I would recommend Suck It Up, because then you start with a vacuum cleaner. And then if you max out Ghostly Gate and Dusty Dash, you have Infinite Sprint. And you're about 15% faster, depending on the way they do the math. It just depends on which one they factor into first. I don't recommend Caffeine Rush or the Caffeine Junkie, because those are kind of situational. Like, there's much better items to equip than the soda can, and having to get movement boosts from soda is not consistent. Rapid Recoup would be a much better one if you're going to try to run this. These ones are also pretty situational, but if you're in a really tight map where you're dealing with the ghost all the time, you may just perpetually get these abilities. Obviously flat 20% if you want to get more money on your missions. What I am running is the Jackass of All Trades run, and that is the Eagle Eye. So all items will be highlighted, and anything that you can interact with. At least whenever you get close enough. If you're too far away, it's not going to. Field Medics, so you always start with a med kit. This is the most critical part, and why this game is a lot easier than a lot of other horror games, and a lot more fair. If it wasn't for this, this game would suck. You can basically med yourself up. So as long as you can keep track of where the other medkits are, you can get up and then get right back into the mission. And then I have Endurance Enhancer, which isn't quite maxed yet, but it's more than stamina that I'm really going to use. You really want to pick your fights and hide most of the time. So for this tutorial, I'm actually just going to do Bridal Street. I'm going to try to do the 100%. These two maps are very easy to do 100% on. I have not done it for these other three, although I have gotten very close with Whispering Studio. There's one reason why Whispering Studio is harder, and we'll get to that in just a moment. There's also currently a bug in the beta version of this game where if you try to hit escape during this cutscene, you will get stuck and be unable to get out of the pause menu. So do not hit escape, just hit F to skip and move past it. If you want to rearrange your inventory, you'll have to do that. Hopefully you trust your teammates enough not to steal your stuff. If you're playing alone, no problem. Also, something I completely forgot to mention, if you want to break the radio, you just got to keep picking it up. And eventually sparks will start flying out. Because that will get very annoying very quickly. Especially in the lobby. So this is the official, like, when you open this, the game starts. And you are not safe inside this truck. You'll leave by going underneath that exit sign and exiting out that way. Now for this house only, because they've actually changed it, you do need to get the front door key. It can be in the mailbox or underneath the doormat. There's also a lot of collectibles in this game, so for this map you need to collect the bunnies. I will try to collect them all in this run, but I may not be able to get them all time-stamped. But there's another one in here. And we want to look out for anything with like a red malicious aura. That will make the game way easier. The toilets are always in a fixed position. So if you know where those are, you could be the plumber, or you could, the person who unlocks can also be the plumber. Pizza, trash piles, trash bags when you get to those stages, and ecto stains are all randomly generated at the map creation. Now I'm out here checking these things because sometimes the cursed items can show up in there, although they're not really cursed items, but haunted items. And none in these, okay. Power box can also spawn outside here, so if the power goes out, you can turn it back on out here. Also, the ghost can just break lights. That can't be turned on now. Always check this box for something, because I've heard there's a bug right now that makes it impossible to get to. This is what those energy drinks look like. That will give you a bit more sprint boost. I'm not going to bother with them. You can also find random money on their thing. This is the most frustrating bunny to find. It's behind the microwave and the fridge here. There's also one just around the corner here. I'm going to go upstairs later. I'm going to go this way real quick to get this last bunny. And I guess the pizza while it's here. And then there's another bunny right here. Now we don't have any keys, and we don't have... Well, I mean, we have the front door key, but that's not what I'm talking about. Oh, we actually just got one, and we got the crowbar, so we can start opening things. Unfortunately, I got the garage key first, so you want to get this open while the power's on, because if you don't, you're going to have to wait until you get the power off, or get the power back on to open the garage door. I do kind of wish they added a manual garage lift mechanic to the game. But I also kind of understand why they didn't. There's also a bunny in the garage. The car will stop eventually. One of the changes here is they used to have boards here, but they moved them up into the attic. And you can't use your flashlight while you're using boards, which is another reason why Eagle Eye is such a good perk to have. You can actually see... Now, heading up to the second floor, we have some trash piles and some pizza. I'm going to wait on those, actually. And that'll become apparent later, but I want it to be a surprise. Although I should show one of the trash routes. This is one of the ways up to the attic and the one you'll probably use the most. And we got the bedroom key, so I can show where that is in a minute. And if you have a crowbar, you can get through this door now. Oh, she's hunting. I don't have a hiding spot up here, though. So the hunting mechanic is pretty much the same as Phasmophobia. Just get in here and wait until she's done. The ghost, you saw those handprints. You can clean those, but on this particular map, I don't bother. And you'll see why as we progress. For the most part, when you're getting hunted, you want to listen for your heartbeat as much as the ghost, because that's usually your indicator. Also, as much as like this room starts shaking a ton. Oh yeah, there is a bunny behind this TV. A lot of my group usually misses it. Oh, she's still going. There's also a bunny in this room. And sometimes one of the things we're looking for spawns underneath there. I think she stopped. Pizza. While it's open to us, I want to show one of my favorite shortcuts. So if you crouch here, you can shove this or throw something through here and end up on the roof outside. Throw that on the lawn makes it a lot easier to get to the trash bag. You can also re-enter through this door, and if something gets stuck on the roof for whatever reason, you can kind of fidget your way up this radiator onto the roof here. So... 100. This is the stairs by the front of the house. Ooh. Okay, we got one of our first items here. Banish. Burn 5 haunted toys. Oh, forgot about the bunny in front of the fireplace. And we also got a key to the basement, which I think I'm going to do before I do the bedroom. Actually, no, let's finish the top floor. Or second floor, rather. Medkit there, pizza. This is the second bathroom you'll need to plunge. And the only other actual bathroom, the other toilet, is hilariously in the basement. Bunny on the bed, got a pizza. I guess I can sweep up these piles while I'm in here. Although maybe not a good idea, and you'll see more in a minute. At least in a bit. No, it's just the fireplace. I always think there's another one of those cursed toys in here. And you also kind of want to come up here and check. But, don't linger in that room for too long if you haven't unlocked the whole attic yet. Just trust me on that. Alright, basement. Pretty easy. There's a bunny here, and then there's going to be another one around the corner back there. Got the attic key, so now we can open the whole house. Power's here, so if she ever turns it off, which she has... You can turn it back on and get experience, and then you can also get a tick towards your achievement for turning on the power X number of times. Bearing in mind that it only works if the ghost is the one who turned off the power. If somebody else turned off power, then it's not going to work. There's another bunny on this bucket, and then the third toilet is right here. keys can usually spawn on that table, so always check it. Sometimes I've had the cursed items spawn in there. Got another pizza. She's hunting. Unless, yeah, no. So with this ghost, she's always going to lock the door whenever she's hunting, so if you can open the door, she's not hunting. You'll also hear it slam, like that. And then she will, unlock it whenever she's done. So I'm gonna hide in the garage over here, or in this closet by the garage, and see if we can't hear that whenever it happens. And this is what I was talking about, this scream will shake whenever she gets close to you. And to my knowledge, I don't think even if you have the push to talk on, the ghost doesn't really do anything. Because I've tried getting her off of people while hiding in the closet and she just ignores me, so...
What'd you do?
She saw me go into the closet! Can she hear me if I'm talking like this?
As long as toggle is not... Or...
No, I'm talking in the game. She can't hear me. Unless she's done hunting, one of the two.
I see no handprints anymore. I was trying to...
Oh, she is definitely there. My bad. I'm seeing handprints. Oh, I'm dead.
I found a curse.
I could be entirely wrong, and that was just a fluke, but... Okay, so you heard that little unlock there. Just after my heart slowed down in the game. That tells you that you can go back out now. Also, it used to be that, and the reason why I'm throwing them on the lawn, it used to be that whenever you threw trash out, you would get money and experience, like, for that exact task. But they changed it so that you only get experience now, and then everybody gets money at the end, based on how much work you did. So what we would do is we would cheese things by, like, tagging tasks. So, like, I would stick my plunger in there and then run away, let somebody else do it. And then everybody would get money for it, if everybody tagged the objective. But recently they've changed that, so you can't do that now. Alright, I do have another trash bag in here, but... that's not what I'm looking for. I want to find cursed toys. Actually, we haven't even gone up to the attic yet. There's probably 2 of them up in the attic now. Alright, so don't do the thing now. Thank you. Are you opening rooms in this? Interesting. Alright, second to last bunny. I honestly don't know where the other one is, to be honest with you. I need to figure that out. I probably missed it somewhere stupid, but off the top of my head, I do not recall. Okay, so the entire house is open up to us. If we get those cursed toys, it'll be a lot easier. Oh, of course it would be this one. The last bunny I always forget because I get distracted showing off the shortcut. Little fun fact, back in December I was actually trying to make a tutorial for this game, and I had completely forgot about the bunny during that one as well. And this is a useful trick for any house. You can just throw them out the windows. And as long as you don't have like a lip like this where they can get stuck, you're fine. think it was actually Maddie that found that out, because in typical Maddie fashion, she always has to climb up somewhere where nobody can find her. The ghosts also used to break their own windows, but now they don't do that anymore, which is pretty funny. And if they're boarded up like this, you can't throw them through. Sometimes toys will spawn underneath beds and stuff, so you'll have to wait for a certain event to get them. So we'll just have to ignore those for now. And that's what I was worried about. Worst time for her to do that, too. So, she arranged all the furniture different. And what that basically means is now we have to deal with a little labyrinth, and we can't get through to the attic the same way we did before. We can't get around the house the same way we did before. This is why this one is still kind of hard compared to the second house. And I also have no idea if that has to do with completion of the house in terms of cleaning, banishing, or just how long you spend in here. Eventually she's just going to do it, and there's nothing we can really do to stop it. Also, the ghost can cheat through her own obstacles. So if she's like on the other side on the second floor, there's something blocking. There's a big bookshelf blocking the hallway between the bathroom and the bedroom to that other side. She can just walk straight through that. She can also just walk through the shelf blocking the garage. It's BS. Oh, she can run through her own obstacles. Cheating.
It's not very nice.
There's a problem with this door that if it's open inwards, you can't get in or out. So you have to arrange it a specific way. You want to open it this door out this way. And ideally, you want to have this door open inward. Where did I throw the trash bag? Oh, I actually got it out of the house. Hope I did. I'm gonna be annoyed if it's not. And as I said before, the haunted toys can spawn outside, so you do want to check around every once in a while. So this front area is always going to be open, and this is the way you're going to need to go to get to the fireplace. I've heard some players can get stuck in this couch mess, and also on the left side of the basement or the attic entrance. Yeah, sometimes toys can spawn underneath this bed, but they won't be visible until it flips up. Earlier I was acting cagey when I was passing through, and I'm going to show you why. So this bookshelf locks you in, but if you look down there, there's a bed blocking you in. So if you were there, you got to go out the window and then to get out. These are the handprints that you need to clean while she's hunting. I'm going to ignore the rest of them. And there is a reason for that, but unfortunately it's going to take a minute. Oh, there's one. I keep thinking I'm seeing the ghost. Alright, so this is what the room looks like from this side. Sometimes a handprint shows up on that window right there, just you can reach it from here. So you don't gotta worry. But there's one right here. Let's keep that out in the hallway. I want to look around a little bit more. See, normally that's whenever the house shifts and rearranges itself. Also, something really fun that this ghost can do, she can lock the door there, spawn in the garage, and then come out and hunt you. That has 100% happened to me before. And there's the pizza I've been looking for. Also, I didn't even look under these, did I? Well, it's not there, so it doesn't matter. And again, this freaking door. This is what I was talking about. You have to have the door open that way to get through. Oh, there's one. On the ironing board behind the thing. They put these in a lot less predictable locations. Ordinarily, like, you know where the objective is because you need to get through a locked door. But with these, it's a little bit harder. I think the last one is unfortunately a triangle block. Alright, here's the last one. In that stupid corner, I forgot to look multiple times. Alright, and this is why I didn't bother chasing down all those handprints. The ghost is now unable to hunt, but the handprints are all over the place wherever they were before. So, I just have unlimited time to go deal with them. Make sure you check outside too, because sometimes there's some weird ones that spawn out here. And I know, like, there's one that spawns here that if you don't remove, there was a pallet somewhere before the house got freaked out. I think this is it. It was leaned up against that and I couldn't find it. They will also always appear in the same spots during the hunts, so if you find the location of it, you can just wait on it until she hunts again and then get it. Also, there's a string of 10 achievements for cleaning up about 500 of them total. Which sounds like a lot, but we have 20 on this map alone, and during the cult maps, you're always going to be able to clean them, so... It's also one that can spawn right here that I always miss, because I'm just dashing through these hallways. Also one that spawns on this box here that I tend to miss, and I don't think turning off the lights makes it any easier. They're pretty bright as is, but even with the lights on, they're not that much harder to see. And to our knowledge, the doors and garage doors, can I have them on there? They might, but I don't think so. I think it's unmoving objects, or at least objects that are in fixed positions until they get thrown out of place like this. This is the one I was talking about earlier. If the handprint, you can still reach it from here. Alright, so once you're done, you just need to head back out through the front and go through that container.
Alright, so you didn't die and you actually cleaned the place. Fuck me, I thought I'd be replacing you by now. Nice work, but don't let it go to your heads. There's always another haunted dump waiting to be scrubbed.
Now, that has been edited down significantly. That took me 45 minutes to do that whole house. At a certain point, you're going to have diminishing returns as far as time investment goes. So if you're not going for that 100% achievement at a certain point, it's better just to leave. But, oh yeah, and don't forget to check your dailies, because sometimes you get, like, we got rid of 5 moldy pizzas and that. You get an extra 125 bucks there. And I think I've got enough to upgrade my endurance enhancer. But that is all for this one. Happy haunting.